Batwoman's back, my reviews are back, and Batwoman's black. Na 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 na. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Previously on Batwoman, nobody cared. Nobody gave a toss whatsoever. But here we are, season 2. Ruby Rose has left. Javicia Leslie has taken her place. Double the diversity now. Yes. And it starts off with a nice, subtle introduction of the character, allowing us to warm to them, to get to know. Get out of here. It smacks you over the head with a baseball bat going, I'm gay and I'm proud. Of course it does. Right, so we start off with this van by the riverside. It's Janelle from YouTube, fake YouTuber, created by YouTube. And inside there's a sleeping woman's with the lights on. I'm gonna go to bed now with the lights on. Don't know why. Maybe it's so the cameraman can see who's in and whatever. And we get a little close-up of her, and as she's sleeping, she has a flashback. Oh, do you hear that squeaking noise? It's like us. Oh no, okay, it's gone. So she has a flashback of her with her. This is her stepmom. And her stepmom's saying to her, she's like, hey, Ryan, because she's got a man's name, because that's all they do now. They give women man's names, like Michael from Star Trek Discovery and Ryan. Why? Because the dickheads. Because maybe they're ashamed of femininity. I'm just saying. Maybe they're ashamed of it. I'm just saying. So anyway, her stepmom says, hey, Ryan, we've gone and got ourselves a nice little apartment now, so you can no longer have to secretly squirrel your girlfriends in and out. 1 minute and 15 seconds into the show, and 45 seconds of those were the fucking recap. So within 30 seconds of the second series starting, Ryan's gay! Sledgehammer. Nice and subtle. So she's like, oh, Mum, you shouldn't know about stuff like that. Anyway, there's a huge explosion which wakes her up. And by huge explosion, I mean the CW got a couple of those, well, probably Christmas crackers and just pulled them and made a noise. And things start falling from the sky. Bits of fuselage and touch and ting. Because there's a very bad CGI plane which is smashing to pieces above Gotham City. Oh my god, who could possibly be in this plane? Bring out your gays. So she goes through the wreckage and she finds a tramp. Oh my god, a tramp. I must save the tramp. Meanwhile, because this episode is just going to jump everywhere and do so many needless things instead of just concentrating on introducing the new character. It's like, no, we've got to do these people, we've got to do those 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 people. So, what's he called? Luke. Luke is in the Batcave having a bit of a spaz out with Mary about, where's Kate? There's a plane blowing up. Kate's got to be on the scene, but she's not checking in. Ryan is trying to save a tramp. What if he just got up and grabbed her? And I'm just saying, you know? And she's like, live! I'm doing CPR, I'm not. By the way. And then she has a flashback to an apartment with her mama dead. And she was doing the exact same thing to her mom. Mama, never live. But her mum didn't wake up, but the tramp did. And then as soon as the tramp woke up, she pukes everywhere. Probably because the tramp stunk of piss and shit. Just a theory. Just a theory. Just a theory. But of course, we now know that Ryan is full of heart because she saves black tramps. She wouldn't if it was white, though. Then she wipes her mouth. Then she goes off and thinks she sees something. Meanwhile, Luke's just like, oh my God, I think I just worked out, sees that it was Kate's plane that blew up. Oh no! Is Kate alive? Is Kate dead? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And then Ryan finds the bat suit in the wreckage and she's like, oh my God. Within 5 minutes, 5 minutes of the new season starting, we know Ryan's gay, and she finds and is in possession of the batsuit. Great build-up, folks. Great build-up. Top notch. So, Dougray Scott turns up at the crash site and he's just like, where's Kate? And Sophie's just like, let's search together. And he's like, okay. And then Alice is just fucking stood there looking at the crash site as well. It's as if there was a bat signal that was put into the sky that said, Kate Kane's plane's just blown up. Everybody go to these coordinates. How would you know? How would you know? Whatever. Jesus. Alice doesn't need to be in this episode at all. Neither does Sophie and Julia Pennyworth. Barely does Dougray Scott. Anywho. Mary dresses up like a dickhead and Luke is really, really small. So we have Vane Enterprises, and remember, at the end of last season, Tommy Elliott, Hush, a character which they absolutely destroyed and butchered, is going put on a mask of Bruce Wayne. So Bruce Wayne turns up at Wayne Enterprises saying, oh, as soon as I heard about Kate, I came back. And they're just like, oh my God, you've been gone for 4 years. Well, it's actually 3 years in the movie world, but because they've been filming a season, the fucking morons at the CW thought, we'll add that other year on. Ugh. This is all meant to have taken place about 2 days after the season finale of season 1. When it was 3 years. Now it's whatever. Whatever. Trust me, that is the smallest of problems. Anyway, this guy, this actor who plays Bruce Wayne, I think has actually got quite a bit of charisma, and he played him really well. And I'm just thinking, okay, maybe they could do something interesting with this character throughout the season. You know, he acts very much like Bruce, but very subtly, he's subverting things behind the scenes. No, his story will be over by the end of the episode. Jesus Christ. So they're just like, oh my God, Bruce. And then Luke's just like, hey, boss, do you want to go down into the Batcave? And he's just like, yeah. And so Luke takes him to the bookcase and he just looks at it. And then he realizes he doesn't know what to do. So he cleverly turns to Luke and he says, you've been running the show for the last few years. You lead on. Which makes Luke feel good. And he pulls the pearls and he opens up the secret entrance to the Batcave and lets them in. I mean, you have to understand, people, that Luke and Mary and Dougray Scott and Julia Pennyworth and Sophie Titwank, all of these people have no idea Mouse is dead. No idea Mouse is dead. Mouse, who has been wearing faces all of season 1 and mimicking voices, which Tommy suddenly has the capacity to do now, by the way. Just mimic voices as well as faces. Oh, and put 30 pounds of muscle on as well. But don't worry about any of that. Just let him in straight to the Batcave and not think, maybe I should throw some questions his way. Maybe I should test to see if this is actually... Nah, okay. Let him in. Let him in. Let him in. What a dickhead these people are. Dickheads. So anyway, Caroline Dries watched the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix and was just like, hey, what if I pull that scene out of the Joker movie where Joker is sat with his, you know, whatever they're called, social worker or whatever, in an office that looks pretty much identical. What if I do that? It'll look really cool. I mean, I've lifted it straight from it. Just stolen it straight from that film. But wouldn't it be good if I just steal that and make them try to have a bit of back and forth banter? And this scene is great, by the way, because this scene allows Ryan Wilder to set herself up as a victim. And she's like, hey, I'm smiling because people got killed in an airplane crash, but I found the bat suit. But she doesn't say bat suit. She says, hey, something's happened and it's a game changer for me. And a social worker, sensibly, is like, why? Did you find yourself a house instead of your van? No. Did you find yourself a job? No. And then it allows Ryan to go, that's because nobody wants to hire an ex-con black girl who was actually innocent but got framed. And so I can't do any of that because I'm a victim. She also very unsubtly says, hey, but you've been doing judo or karate or martial arts. I think they just meant martial arts for years now. Can't you get a job at a dojo? Caroline Dries has also been watching Cobra Kai in her free time. Her free time when she's not writing fucking dog shit. Sorry, that just residually came out. I must have had it built up inside me because this episode is fucking shit. Yeah, she goes, I'm a victim. I'm a black victim. And then Sophie and Julia sit on a stairway and say, are we going to les up? And Sophie's just like, no, because I'm sad that Kate's dead. By the way, they never say Kate's dead in this episode, but Kate's dead. And the reason why they don't say Kate's dead in this episode is because of the bring out your gays trope, you know, where gay people constantly criticize people for killing gays in television shows. Now we've got those very people that criticize who are gay killing off gay people in their show, but they can't say it because then they would be massive hypocrites. Oh, whatever. Let's move on from this utter dog shit. Why have we got these scenes? Dougray Scott's sad. Good. Mary's sad with Dougray Scott because fucking Ruby Rose Plank of Wood's dead. Bruce is in the Batcave and he's just like, oh, look at this. It's whatever, a mine launcher, a sticky bomb launcher. And he's just like, he calls him mini, what's he called him? Mini Fox. Just thought it was quite funny. Because he's tiny. He's absolutely tiny. This dude, I looked up on IMDb. This dude is 6'1.5" or something in height. And he towers over Luke Fox. So Luke Fox has got to be like 5'7" or something. So he's looking around the cave and he's just like, oh, this is great stuff. Where's the suit? And he's just like, ah. Oh, by the way, would you also, not only have I invited you into the cave, would you also like this kryptonite, which is the only thing which could possibly penetrate the bat suit. So Bruce is just like, well, Brucey Tommy is just like, yeah, sure, whatever, give it to me. And he's just like, here you go, because I'm a really dumb fuck. Sorry, that must have slipped out as well. So where else? Oh, yeah, so Ryan goes into a stinky, disgusting bathroom in her bare feet. And puts on the bat suit. And she's like having flashbacks to being beaten up by the same people that killed her stepmom. And then she put... Stop it. And then she puts the suit on. And she's like, time to be powerful. And then looks in the mirror. And look, she's got fucking Karen hair. She's got my grandma's wig hair. Oy vey. Oh boy. So she goes out. She just so happens to find a couple of gangbangers who are about to shoot themselves up with some drug. So she pops down and she's just like, boo! So they grab her from the invisible rope and throw her on the floor. She's like, I didn't think that one through. So she fires the grappling hook again, starts wiggling around in the sky, going, wee, woo, like a fucking dickhead. Because it's all a game, because nothing's serious. And they're shooting and shooting her, and then she's like, the suit's bulletproof, bitchin'. And then she accidentally triggers the infrared scope, and then she accidentally triggers the GPS, which makes Luke think that the suit's active again. Then she shoots one of them with a batarang in the femoral artery, and he's going to die in about 3 minutes, so well done. And then you realize, oh, wait a minute, wait. When she starts questioning these guys, she's just like, I want to find out who did the killed my, my, obviously not my stepmom, but the person in this place. Ooh, tell me. And I was like, this is another bitch who's got the suit and is just doing it for selfish reasons. Just like Kate did for selfish reasons. I'm going to put on the suit so I can find Sophie. Her story arc was complete in the first episode of season 1. Maybe that's why season 1 was so shite. And then Ryan Wilder, just exactly the same. I'm putting on the suit for my own selfish reasons to discover what happened to my family using the tech to do it. Is it any wonder why heroes don't exist anymore? Because they all come from a selfish perspective. Well, Batman goes out and beats up criminals because of what happens to his parents. He doesn't go out beating up criminals for what happens to his parents. He goes out trying to prevent what happened to his parents happening from anyone ever again. Good or bad person, by the way. So there's a couple of women in bed, and you think, oh my God, it's another lesbian scene, and it's Bruce. It's Bruce. He's like, well, nailed them. Because I'm Bruce Wayne, I can get what I want, and he got a couple of foxy chicks. So he goes downstairs to get a drink, and look who walks in Wayne Manor. It's Alice. Why are we having these scenes? Why? Why are we having these scenes? And Alice is just chewing up scenery. And I was like, Rachel, you were probably the best thing of season 1, but right now you just need to go away. You really do. And I say that with love, darling. I say that with love. Your character doesn't need to be in this series. It doesn't need to be. You're not the Joker. You'll never be the fucking Joker. Oh, shitting hell. So she's just like, oh, my sister's dead. I'm going to come and live here with you. I'm mad because I didn't get to kill her. Well, I did, but I didn't want to kill her. I wanted to give the kryptonite to her dad, so her dad could kill her. And then when her dad killed her, it's so convoluted and bollocks. Then he would take off the mask and be like, oh no, I just killed Kate, my daughter. Oh, woe is me. And then one of the girls comes down and says, Bruce, there's no steam in the steam shower. So Alice just kills her, throws a knife in the neck and kills her. Tommy says, hey, look, here's the kryptonite I got. I held up my side of the deal, you psychopathic bitch. And then she's just like, oh, why is this goes on and on and on and on and on? Stop! Here's another scene, which didn't need to be in a fucking show either. It's Sophie and Julia, and she's gone sniffing her clothes. I'm not joking. Sophie has gone out to sniff Kate's clothes. There's a scene. Fucking deal with that, folks. So because Ryan accidentally triggered, well, me probably, triggered the GPS on the bat suit, Luke and Mary are in hot pursuit. Mary in her fucking Gucci heels. No backstreet abortion clinic this season so far, although I do have my fingers crossed. And so they track her down to the sewers. Notice there is, by the way, I didn't see this when I watched it with EFAP, but yes, there is an open grate. There is an open grate here, which she'll use to escape. And they're like, Kate, you're alive! And then they turn around and they're like, holy fuck, you're black! What happened to you yesterday? And she's like, I'm not Kate, obviously, because I'm black. I'm Wilder, Ryan. What? How's that a way to introduce yourself? What's your name? Wilder, Ryan. What's this? So, they're just like, hey, you don't deserve to wear this. And she's just like, hey, I'm not one of your heroes or your vigilantes or whatever. She goes, I'm just a number. I'm the 327th birth in my year from a black woman who died in childbirth. And I'm just like, what the fuck has that got to do with anything? You know, it's a tragedy that women do die in childbirth from time to time. I mean, obviously the rate is massively down how it used to be due to our wonderful technology that we have today. But it's not just black women. It's women of all colors, you know. Mother, this is why I put out the tweet last night. Mother Nature's not racist, you dumb bitch. She says it as if it's like Mother Nature's like out to get black women. And then she's like, I am inmate 63412, serving 18 months for a crime I didn't commit. I get $20 a day to live off social. And it's just like, what are you trying to say? Oh, I get it. You're a victim. That's all you're trying to say. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. Fuck off. Oh, fuck off. So she's like, oh, so anyway, see ya. Tommy why is this scene? Tommy turns up to see Dude Grey because he doesn't want Alice squatting in his house because he wants to bang chicks 2 at a time. So he's just like, hey, don't say that I told you this, but I just returned Uncle whatever, Uncle Dude Grey. And I've noticed that Alice is squatting in my house. So there you go. You can go find her. He's like, oh, by the way, I drunk all your booze. He then walks out and Julia's just like, Bruce! And he's like, hey, Julia, how you doing? And she's just like, when did you get back? Did you find Eagle? And he's like, what? What? Eagle? And he's like, and she's like, the old man. I'll tell the old man that you're back. He's like, oh, yeah. He lives in Glasgow. Do you know that? He lives in Glasgow. Then she turns to the camera and goes, so we know it's all a ruse. And he's like, yeah. I'll check in with him in a minute. And so Julia realizes that he's full of shit and it's not Bruce Wayne. And then she's going to do a thing. Oh, God. Another scene which doesn't need to exist, but again, another scene to just say that Ryan's a victim, Ryan's a victim, Ryan's a victim, and they're both looking at their laptops, and Ryan is talking to her pot plant because that's where the ashes of her mum was put in. Ew. And so she talks to the pot plant, and she's reading all about Kate Kane and how Kate Kane was a hero. By the way, Kate Kane is just a hero for being gay. That's it. And then Mary's reading, this goes on for fucking ever. And then Mary's reading stuff about Ryan going, oh no, she got, oh, her stepmom died and she got convicted for a crime. Shut up! And then Ryan's just like, oh, Kate was the hero. I'm no hero. I'm going to hand the suit back, so I'm going to turn on the GPS. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. This scene's gone on for too long. Julia's just like, why do I always have my eyes like this? Always. Every scene they're sure like this. So Julia says, hey, I didn't think Bruce was Bruce, so I realized that he stank of booze as well. So I went up to the office, I took the glass that he drank from, I run his prints, and it turns out it's Tommy Elliott. And they're just like, shite. So Bruce is now in the Batcave, set up from earlier. He's just like, where's the Batmobile? Where's the Batmobile? Where's the Batmobile? So he takes the sticky bombs and he starts shooting the wall twice until he reveals the Batmobile. Which is just a black car with a bat spoiler on the side. That's it. And they're just like, oh no, Ryan's put the tracking on for the Batsuit and Tommy's going to go after the Batsuit. And then when he gets the Batsuit, he's going to be Batman again. And he's going to be the most powerful man in Gotham. And I'm just like, wait a minute. The Batsuit's now 3 fucking times smaller and it's got tits on it. How's he going to get into that without somebody completely redesigning the suit, you fucking dickheads? Batman, is that you? Kind of, but I got tits now, so I'm kind of like trans man. Is that a thing in Gotham? It is now. By the way, it's really small. That's why the sleeves finish here on my arms and just below my knees on my legs. And I'm in bare feet and I can't put the gauntlets on. But I have ripped the ears off and stuck them to the side of my face. Oh, another scene we didn't need. So Dougray Scott turns up to Wayne Manor, which is fucking tiny. It's got a nice little coat rack in the background for some reason. And he's just like, oh, you are. And then Alice is just like, Kate is dead. Kate was Batwoman. If you don't believe me, put on the bat symbol. By the way, I'm going to take your gun away and walk off, and you're not going to shoot me. It's a fairground. Ryan's got her van parked in hobo country. And then she's sleeping, and Luke just says on the intercom to the suit, Ryan, wake up, you're being chased. To which Ryan immediately jumps up, looks out the back, and the Batmobile is absolutely CGI shite. Coming up the street, and it looks like a joke. Here it comes. There you go. Just a CGI lump of black with lights on, and it looks terrible. However, her shitty little 1960s camper van is more than a match for a modern day Batmobile, and she can outmaneuver and outpace the Batmobile. It's season 2, episode 1, but I believe it is at this moment that this episode deserves a fuck this show. Half an hour I've been going for now. Half an hour! Some people are like, this is the greatest half hour of my life. Fuck you! So, Tommy's like firing missiles out of it, and then Mary says, hey, Luke, can you hack the Batmobile? And Luke's like, I never, and this is what he says, I never even knew it existed. But I'll give it a try. And within 5 seconds, he's hacked the Batmobile and shut it down. So in the Batmobile, there just happened to be a shotgun. A shotgun, which Bruce has now put the kryptonite in. Why not? Shutting down the suit has given time for Javicia Leslie to get dressed up as a dickhead. He turns around, he shoots her with the kryptonite. She falls down, she's in pain, but then she gets up and she starts fighting back. And then Tommy Elliott is just like, I need to find the most horrendous weapon to attack Batwoman. So he goes into the back of the van and he grabs her plant and he smashes the pot. So he's holding a fucking bunch of leaves in his hand. What are you gonna do? Shank a bitch? Huh? Shank a bitch with some loam and a stem? But of course, we're meant to feel something because that was the pot that had the ashes for her mum. And so she's like, no! And gets mad. And I shit ye not, she punches his face off. She punches his face off in a fit of rage because he smashed her pot plant. I don't even... I can't... Please end. So, Javicia Leslie turns up because everybody just walks into this building, remember? She just turns up and says, hey, here's the bat suit back. By the way, it's not bulletproof because that kryptonite bullet hurt like a bitch, but I'm okay. Don't worry about me. And they're just like, okay, piss off. Oh, here we go again. Julia gives Sophie a letter where Kate's written a letter for her that says, hey, I'm Batwoman, deal with it. And I'm just like, why does this show even exist? Dougray Scott's crying because she's dead. Mary's crying because she's dead. And then a very coincidental a paper airplane gets thrown down the sewers just as Alice is walking down. And it says, now we're even. Sophia, remember Sophia, who's going to be the lesbian pirate in this season. She's like, God, I killed Kate to get back at you. Ha! And then she goes back and Mouse is dead, but he's still in the show. And she cuddles up to Mouse's dead body. And I'm just like, oh no, they're going to bring him back. The writers are just like, hi, we're really fucking crap at our jobs. And we could really do with that guy that can just change faces and do different voices at any given time. Otherwise, we'd actually have to write intelligent scripts, and we can't do that. Look at this episode, hey? And, yeah, then it's just like, Ryan talks to a plant. She's repotted the plant. Everything's okay with the world. And then she realizes that the kryptonite is hurting her, and she's like, oh my God, what's going on? Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do, to be continued next week. No one gives a shit. 663,000 people tuned in. The third lowest rating the whole show has ever had, and this was a season premiere. Nobody gives a toss about this show. It is hot garbage. I hate it. If this video gets no views, I'm never doing another Batwoman video again. that's how it's gonna go down. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.